Welcome to the Beacon by Soul 33, teachings for your past, present and future. Good morning, everyone. It is November 20th today, and it is my birthday. And it is a Monday here in New Zealand. And those of you listening in the Northern Hemisphere, you might be listening to this on Sunday or later in the week. But it is my 41st birthday. And I'll talk to you a bit about that in a minute. But if you are listening to this on the Beacon app or on YouTube or on Spotify, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, tag, let people know that this app exists. You know, I've been working on this app since just before the pandemic. It took us a couple of years to, get the idea, the concept, and then coding takes forever and design takes forever. And we launched it just before the first lockdown. So it's been a few years now, and there are just people from all over the world. And I'm so, it's my birthday today, so I'm going to talk a bit longer because I've got time. But I'm just so grateful to have you all here. And, one of my major purposes in life, if not the most important one at this stage of my life, is to be a guide for people. And I guide myself in this journey as well because you all teach me. And when you're here on this app and you're doing the homework and you're chasing me up for homework or where are the Monday mantras, it's amazing. And I'm so grateful to all of you for being here and being dedicated to this journey with me. And some of my regular clients, I've seen you grow so much. I've seen you grow from, having affairs to being married, to having multiple children now, to having really successful businesses, to healing old traumas. And it's just been so amazing to be a part of that journey. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years I've been doing this work. Is that right? Yeah, 7, 8 years now. And it came and hit me like a ton of bricks at the age of 33. And my life has just been incredibly miraculous, and it's been so interesting, and it's all because of you. All of the thousands of people that I've seen over the years, and those of you who continue to wait for me, I'm just so grateful. So when you let people know that this app exists, it really helps me be able to share my message and to have people have access to my soul progression in the way that I do it, in the way that this gift has been given to me. And the more that you let people know, the more that I can invest back into the app to help you be available to the resources that I create for you with the help of my team. So it was a week where we were focusing on the masculine energy. And I had some pretty fascinating events happen last week for me. So the Monday mantra last week, and those of you who are listening to this often will know that every Monday mantra makes a transition to the next, They're not ever in isolation. It is a story. It is a story for you to follow. And it was about being grounded in the security of your direction. I am grounded in the security of my direction. It was the Diwali energy still, so the Festival of Lights. We had the new moon at the beginning of at the beginning of last week, amplifying intentions to be able to connect us into the depth of our direction. What I found so fascinating, Kieran gives me my schedule. She fills out my schedule based on what I'm able to work at a time, what I give her. And when I looked at my schedule last week, I found it so fascinating that it was the energy of the divine masculine, and the face-to-face clients that I had for soul ceremonies in my home were all men. And they were men that were different age groups. I had someone in their 70s, someone in their 30s, I believe. And then also on Zoom, I had men as well. And I also had mothers. I had 2 or 3 new babies. Mothers weren't able to either find someone to look after the baby, or they weren't able to put their baby to sleep, were on Zoom with me with male babies too. So, it wasn't just one healing, it was like the masculine energy coming in from the sons as well. And so this was the direction in terms of that masculine energy and like, right, we're getting things done. Now, I have to admit, last week I really struggled. I struggled because I was tired and I needed some time to myself. But I literally had to just be like, right, I need to get through this because there are people that need me and I'm going to be doing the best that I can. But I needed to be really grounded in the masculine to be able to push that through and get through. And the mystery that was coming up last week to feel secure in the direction and being a leader for ourselves, but not really knowing each step. This was a really important part because people often want to know when and how. Nobody can tell you that. Even the best mediums in the world will never be able to accurately tell you when and how because we are not meant to know those things. Sure, there will be sometimes a time frame or whatever, but the hows are we need to really just trust and feel secure in the direction. And this is a very masculine thing. We're leading, but we're doing things. We don't really know where it's going though. We have to just blind faith, which I think the energy was the week before or the week before that where I talked about blind faith, and just take the step forward, leading ourselves. Like I had to lead my clients through the week, and then once I got to the end of the week, I was like, right, this is time for myself now. And so I had a visitor. I mean, I have many soul visitors. I came into my bedroom, I think it was last Thursday, and I brought my laptop into the room and I was watching a show on Netflix. I was like, okay, I'm going to have a little afternoon break. And through the corner of my eye, I saw something moving in my room and I was thinking, oh goodness, what is this? And I looked and there was a gecko, a lizard. We call them skinks here in New Zealand. Now, I have not ever, and I've lived in New Zealand since I was 5 years old, okay? I've not ever seen a skink in New Zealand with my own eyes. I've just never seen one. Never been in my house. I've never seen one outside. I know they exist, but I've never seen one. Whereas in Malaysia, for example, there are lizards that are constantly like in your home. They literally will climb up the walls. It's just a normal thing for people. So it definitely wasn't a divine sign. But I saw this little lizard and I looked at it with shock because that morning I was listening to a Ayurvedic doctor talk about totem animals that the Aboriginals have within their community. So each community has an animal that they are connected to, whether it's the crow or the snake, and they were talking about lizards. And I was thinking, oh, this is interesting. And I didn't finish listening to that podcast because I just, listen when I'm doing my cleaning and stuff in the morning, and then got on with my day. And then I looked, and I remember him talking about a story on this podcast, and he said, a snake had come into my friend's house, a python, and my friend kicked it. And that next day, the friend felt something dripping from the ceiling. And when the friend looked up, the python had dropped a dead rat on top of his face, basically as payback. And so the last part of the podcast that I was listening to before I stopped it to carry on with my day was, they're here to give you a message, don't hurt them. Not that I would hurt it, but it was just interesting where I stopped and I looked at it and I was like, what are you here to tell me? Then I was like, right, I'd like to get this out of my bedroom because I don't want to be sleeping the next morning and having lizards on my face. So I went to the kitchen, I got a clean jar and put him in it, and then took him outside and put him in the bush. Then I was carried on watching my show after I was questioning the lizard about why you are here and why I'm experiencing the lizard thing. And on the show I was watching, right, there was this man lying in his bed and he started squealing. And I was thinking, what's this man squealing about? He was looking at the wall, getting scared about something. And so the girl walks in and goes, oh, for God's sake. And then they pan to the image of what he's squealing about, and it's a lizard. And I'm thinking, and she catches the lizard and she scares him and shows it to him, and he's like, ugh, and then she goes outside and puts him outside. And I was thinking, there's the lizard again. And then those of you, my friend Frank Alaridu, who's the 4-time Emmy Award-winning journalist that I did a podcast with, because I shared the lizard picture and told a little bit of the story on my Insta stories, and he said, as soon as I saw that, he sent me this lovely voice message. He said, as soon as I saw that, he said, I went to my animal totem book, and he said, I literally flicked open the book and it fell right on the page of the lizard, which is what I was looking for you. But he said it just fell open to that page. Now, what I learned, if you were paying, if you saw my stories, is the lizard is about regeneration. And I wrote an article for Woman magazine around, every year, all our festivals, Diwali has just ended. It was about regeneration. And that's what the lizard was about. And so when Frank sent me this information, I'm not going to read you the whole thing, but those of you who saw it too, whatever I say, whatever I talk about, whatever you see of mine is also a message for you, not just for me. So it says here, are you ready for change? I initiate powerful and sometimes immediate transformation. I meaning the lizard is talking about itself. And help you become more adaptable. Call upon me when you want strength in living a new way. This is about the direction, leadership in the direction, in what I was talking about with the Monday mantra last week. I am symbolic of great inner power. I represent being able to regenerate after letting go of what I know I must in order to truly live. And I was thinking, this is, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. Absolutely amazing when it came to that lizard in my room, because I've never ever seen one in my long time of being a New Zealander in New Zealand. But in my birth country, lizards all the time. I would never take that as a sign. But this was in my bedroom, which is not even near the front door or the back door. No windows are open. It was pretty amazing. So what message did you hear about the lizard that you need to take on board? Because it's about leadership, it's about being grounded, it's about regenerating. And where there are changes, especially sudden ones, this will bring about growth and opportunities you are needing, because that source of masculine energy, like my best friend was saying, she was using her masculine energy to move things around physically in her house. So it was very physical for her. Another friend of mine was saying that she was feeling the masculine energy and like just getting things done. And that's the mode I was into. Like, I need to get the stuff done and steer myself towards what I need to do. And I'm a Scorpio, and it is a very mystical sign. And I knew that, the lizard was that spiritual activity that I was talking about in terms of signs and messengers, because he was a little messenger for me. I named him Pippo, and my friend son's name is similar to that, not Pippo. She laughed when I said I've named my little lizard friend Pippo. And these messages would have come somehow. So those of you who saw me, you would have received messages. For me, I had the lizard, and then Frank, and sending me these messages, and that gecko on the show I was watching. So it was really about feeling secure and not projecting insecurity, being grounded in who we are and what we are, feeling that natural self-assurance, like we've got this, we know what's happening, it's time to move. And as we move through the week, we still had the Diwali energy, the new moon, more boons, time to be grateful for the wealth and prosperity that we've been given. Now, this financial wealth energy is still coming in for this week, which I'll get to shortly. And remember, it's from a place of gratitude that more security in terms of material wealth can come. I know that out in the world, there are many people that are financially struggling. But I also know when I was growing up, my family had no money. This is why I had very little, I was always provided for. But this is why I love op shopping, which is secondhand shopping for my international clients. Like, I love buying secondhand clothes. It's become a natural thing for me, because when I was a kid, that's what my mum and I did, because that's what we could afford. And as I grew up, things were different. So I've seen transformation with wealth. I've seen it for me as well, from sleeping in my garage and renting out my rooms upstairs because I only had $10 to spare. I needed money, and my garage wasn't attached to the house. I literally would walk out of the house and up the stairs to be able to get into the house. But we can change our financial programming by remembering to come from a place of gratitude. And that vibration brings us more in terms of material wealth. Sure, we need to do the right things. And, the males that I saw last week, in general, the males that I saw, they were all trying to grow roots around their financial. So, for example, the 70-something-year-old figuring out his retirement but still working, the 30-something-year-old needing to lead his woman, the couple of other men, everyone's kind of in their own thing, had been seeing a financial advisor to plan for the future. This is what I'm talking about, that masculine energy to lead ourselves in this physical realm. We need to feel secure, because with security, energetically, comes security in financial abundance, having all the things we need to be able to feel that secure. And, these physical reunions are coming in terms of reuniting with self, reuniting people with their souls, which is what I was doing all week last week with my soul progression therapy, and becoming more connected with the health of our bodies. The health of our body is absolutely vital to be able to manifest. I know the friend of mine that I'm going to talk about is not going to be listening to this, and even if she did, it doesn't matter, because I wanted to share with you how powerful words are. So my friend is a year older than me, and she's next month, and she sent me a voice message, and I'm not actually going to repeat it because it's like a mantra. And she sent me a voice message. She goes, "Oh my God, I can't believe we're in our 40s now." And she said this about herself: "I am so old." And she said that 3 times, one after the other, that I had to switch off the recording, detach from her energy, and unprogram myself from her coding that she was giving her body, because I don't feel that way. I honestly feel that I get younger and more beautiful and more vital. And I'm not talking about physical beauty. I'm talking about beautiful in everything. You emanate beauty, you will see it in everything. And I had to go, wow, that's how she feels. And it's actually evident in her physical body and its physical pain and illness and tiredness. So I'm using that example because the health of our bodies for the physical journey we are on to manifest is absolutely vital. And that's what I was manifesting more of with the new moon, is like, okay, what do I need to be able to feel more vital? I've got this birthday coming up. Then I pulled the card of Sacred. Now, I pull the digital oracle cards, which you can pull on the app every day if you want to, and listen to the message and just be reminded, or look at the image or the number, or you'll pick up what you need to pick up from the cards. And Sacred was the card. Sacred steps are being taken in a direction that you may not be able to see yet, but you're starting to see it come together. Archangel Michael is who I was picking up when I was writing this message. And he steps in with his wings, because I often ask him to wrap his wings around me, especially if I'm feeling like I need some comfort, to support us in leading ourselves to strength, safety, and direction. This is grounded, earth-level progression, but it cannot happen without your intuition and self-leadership. You will see how every event has been a sacred convergence of experiences to get you to here. You are being asked to see how everything in your life has been a sacred gift, that you are a sacred gift. Your body, the people you meet, it's all a sacred journey to be respected. So what happened in your life last week? Mine was my gecko, and obviously all the beautiful clients that I meet that were your messengers, were gifts from the universe. And your extended meaning of the Monday mantra. Leadership is steering yourself into a direction with courage and feeling secure in yourself. You don't need to know what is next. You just need to trust in the direction. I've seen many directions change this week, physical or energetic movement within myself and with my clients. Everyone's masculine energy was either being balanced or becoming a foundation of strength to create a direction that they can feel secure in. We are regenerating that lizard energy to steer ourselves and relationships towards more depth and purpose. We need space to be able to hone our skills and trust ourselves in what is coming next. I wanted to read, Karen forwards me some of the lovely messages that you send her. And one of my regular clients said, please thank Gaia for the amazing support over the years, the beautiful messages as a single woman developing my business and one day meeting my love to growing my first child and now having just had my second baby. Her messages have healed, reassured, and empowered me in so many ways. I'm so grateful to have her in my corner. I love all that she creates, and I know on a hard day or when self-doubt creeps in, I just need to open her app and I feel so soothed when I hear her beautiful voice and messages. I hope one day to meet her and thank her in person. That just gives me that goosebumpy feeling. And I know that those of you who are grateful to me, I'm equally as grateful to you, because remember, I'm a human also. Yes, there is a big journey for me in the unfolding of my gift. Every birthday I have another spiritual upgrade, so I am taking some time to myself this week to be able to feel into that. But I am always here, but I am also just one person, and I need time because I feel very out of sorts when I work with clients because I'm taking on your energy. A lot of people think they come to me for readings. My work is way beyond readings. I can't even explain to you what I see and what I feel. I can only just do my best to articulate it. It's what changes for you on a soul level, what progresses you, which is where my gift lies. And those of you who respect my protocol, there are lots of things that I ask for reasons, because I can smell you, even via Zoom. We have to adhere to that so that I can keep my vessel pure to be able to help you as much as I can. So if you need me, do email Karen at soul33@gmail.com. Yes, sessions are waitlisted, but it's not that I'm not seeing people, it's that I can only see as many as I can and then have a break. And so personalized meditations, mini readings, they are the best way to get me more immediately, and for you to get immediate guidance with the mini readings. Remember, mini readings are not for big life questions like purpose questions. They're like if you needed my intuitive guidance on something that you need an answer on now or help with now. And the personalized meditations, I love doing those for you. They take a lot of time and energy, but I really channel everything I have so that you can heal yourself in your own time. And obviously this app, those of you who are new, I keep the link of joining this app or renewing this app off the app stores, because I would have to charge about 3 times more to even make anything on it to be able to pay the full-time developers that we have and designers and things like that. It's only $60 a year. And Karen is the person to help you if you're struggling to figure out how to do that. And we're moving into now talking about this week's Monday mantra. So I write these, as you know, in brief about a month before, and then I finesse it out a little bit more when I'm, the day before. Usually on the Sunday I'll sit there and write a little bit more based on what I'm feeling. And, being my birthday week, the Monday mantra is, my sense of purpose is being renewed. My sense of purpose is being renewed. So the first question I'm going to ask you, and I want you to think about this, what or whom are you most devoted to at the moment? What or whom are you most devoted to at the moment? Now, I'll always tell you the truth because that's just what I do in general. By the end of last week, I felt like I had just given so much that I was actually quite angry with myself and quite upset that I cried after my last client on Friday because I was so tired and because I felt like I have devoted a lot of time. It's raining very heavily, if you can hear that in the background, a lot of time and energy into helping people, and I need to renew my sense of purpose. Like, okay, what else is Gaia wanting? So what or whom are you devoted to at the moment? That's what I'm setting you up with this week's Monday mantra. With our masculine energy being balanced out, the next layer of old fears and sabotage are being released, and we are holding space to receive a new understanding of our purpose. So we had the new moon last week. I start to feel the energy shift before the full moon a week before. So we've got a full moon coming up on the 27th, but that fear release is starting now. And it's a chance to release old fear around what it means to, excuse me, energy is being moved through me. This is what happens when I'm talking to all of you. You're all receiving healing right now. This is how powerful these mantras are. You're not just listening. But it's what it means to change and harness this energy, harness what is being released to use your abilities and skills to get you where you need to go. What is your purpose? Now, I often can't write as much as I want to on Instagram because, they tell you can only write so many words, and I'm not someone that's going to sit and write in the comments because I never read those things on other people's posts because I just don't. So I keep them brief. But here I've got time to talk to you. I have noticed that once a client has achieved, this is generalizing, this is not all of you, but once a client has met somebody, that seems to be their only purpose for a lot of people. But you are so much more than the person that you're in a relationship with. And this is where I see people, and obviously people struggle when their partner passes away or their partner and then break up. This is why we need to have multiple purposes, because it's not that we should have guards up when it comes to having partners, but it's not to just put all the eggs in one basket where, okay, I've got nothing to progress anymore because I'm in a relationship and I've done all the things. No, there's still things for you to understand about yourself and your soul progression. And we often have many purposes, and there may be a particular focus this week on relationships, intimate relationships and friendships. So for me, for example, I didn't have a big celebration this year. It was just with a very few of my good friends. But later in the week, I'm seeing people that I haven't seen for years. And so I found it fascinating that this is falling in this week of my purpose is being renewed. And so this is a full moon with forward movement, but also conclusions, which I love about full moons, even though they can be destabilizing sometimes. But what we're going to be left with is using our skills, whatever your skills are, to be used in what will serve yourself and the greater good of everyone in your life. Okay, so really think about what that means. We all have skills. Everyone's got skills that are not the same as one another. Connecting with old or new friends and finding a sense of community again will give you a sense of renewal. Now, I can often isolate myself, but then when I start spending time with close friends, and most of my close friends are outside of where I live, so it takes travel, but it gives you that sense of purpose, connection, which is what is part of this week's renewal. We need space to be able to regenerate and shed the old skin, like the lizards. Shedding, regenerating, and renewal are all tying in with each other this week. The relationships in our lives, do serve a purpose, and you'll be seeing how and what this purpose is. So really look at that this week. This is where you question, why has this child chosen me? Why am I meeting this person today? What am I going to learn from them? And that's how I go into my sessions with you. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so fascinating for me. You might need to retreat back into taking space for yourself to have the space to cultivate the depth in your relationships, because we need to know, what are we devoted to? What is our purpose to be able to get depth in our relationships? Even if you're someone that is looking for someone, most people want to have depth in a relationship. Holding your ground and honoring boundaries. That's another thing to think about. Boundaries are not all bad things. We're not like saying no to everything and being aggressive. It's just about, where am I devoted to this week that's going to give me that sense of renewal? If any doubts encroach into your energy field, into your mind, find creative ways to turn doubt into confidence. This is about fueling your purpose. So what can you do this week to build your confidence? And sometimes seeing your really close friends, they remind you of how amazing that you are. And that's what, for me, birthdays are. I know a lot of people don't celebrate birthdays, but my mum always used to make a big deal out of my birthday. And it's just, while I didn't have a big celebration, it's something that I do acknowledge, because I just think, oh, wow, I've made it to this period of my life, and look how far I've come. And now it's time for me to renew who I am before I carry on forward being devoted to my different purposes. So the financial energy is coming up this week again in a healthier way. So we can subscribe, like I said, to not having enough. But if you want to stay stuck, that's what you need to start saying to yourself. I'm not having enough. I don't subscribe to that. The energy aligns this week in finances if you want it to flow. Financial plans and long-term successes will pay off. Things take time. Just like my app, it takes time for generating people to know it's there and to modify it in a way through the money that comes in from the app through your subscriptions to be able to invest in change coding and upgrade and do all of those things. So find creative ways to bring in more and make money expand. A lot of people have a side thing going on. Don't put pressure on that. Have multiple things going on. Be creative. Life's for playing and figuring out, using those skills. Contribute with love and maintain your instincts this week to be aware of how to navigate yourself towards the success that is presenting itself to you. Wisdom to make decisions will be needed. You are being asked to be wise in how you're contributing to your life and come from a place of being purposeful. So as you listen now, I'm giving you the energy of renewal. Feel that in your heart, feel that in your solar plexus, feel that in your root chakra. And I'm giving you the sense of feeling purpose again for those of you who are experiencing great change, whether it's through loss, whether it's through transformation, transition, whether it's through stagnation, giving you that energy of renewal now. Well, happy birthday to me, Gaia. And she's a vessel that is used to help you, and I will continue to do this until my last breath in this body. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming to your sessions so open and trusting. Thank you for allowing me to be fully myself, and I'm sending you my birthday blessings also. Your Monday mantra is: my sense of purpose is being renewed. My sense of purpose is being renewed. If you need help with anything, renewals, IT issues, mini readings, personalized meditations, or you just want to go on the wait list for the perfectly divine timing to see me, email Karen, soul33@gmail.com. Have a wonderful week, and I'll share some parts of my birthday on social media.